Do I have autism? Today we take a quiz to find out. By the way, hi, I'm Destery. Sorry if I scared you there. Is this video going to be offensive? I don't know, nor do I care. Then again, it can't be any more offensive than the people that just self-diagnose themselves on fucking TikTok. Like,
knock knock, who's there? Autism.
oh my god, I do that. I must be neurospicy. Because here's the thing, I have long suspected that I might be somewhere on the spectrum, and that has really only become more clear the more I hang out with people that are actually on the spectrum. So today, we find out once and for all just how autistic I really am. Also, I have no idea why I decided to look like Eddie from Stranger Things today for no reason. I'm like Eddie if Eddie was incredibly depressed in 2008 and never grew out of that era. I'm like Eddie if Eddie had zero impact on anyone's lives. Oh, that needed to come out. I burp and my fucking voice lowers 7 octaves. Hey guys, it's me, Destery.
Hey, what's up?
Anyway, also I just want to preface this a little bit by saying you may see my face do this occasionally when we're doing this quiz, and if you see that face, just know that I'm realizing more and more that I might be a little bit more autistic than I actually think I am. So yeah, just be on the lookout. All right, so I have this quiz loaded up that I got from BuzzFeed.com. I'm just kidding. No, apparently this is a reputable source of doing this quiz. There were a few that I found online, but this one was like the one that I saw that had the most amount of questions and also might be the most accurate. That being said, I am fully aware that I cannot diagnose myself based on a quiz. However, I think it may point myself in the correct direction to be like, oh, maybe you should think about the fact that you definitely have it or not. So that said, on to question 1. I prefer to do things on my own rather than with others. Like, yes, I am super introverted, but I think like I have the most fun when I have like a few of my very close friends that I'm doing something with. That said though, I do spend a lot of my time alone. I don't hate my own company, you know what I mean? What you see in my videos is basically what I'm like with myself. A lot of just me talking to myself, you know? Things like, yeah man, if you're really trying to lose weight, I don't think Chick-fil-A is a good idea. Plus they hate gays. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about the gays. Okay, no, you're right, I should not eat Chick-fil-A. Yeah, but they're chicken though. Oh, you're right, they're chicken. They're chicken. Okay, we're going to Chick-fil-A. So, you know, I might have schizophrenia, but that's a different quiz. We're not doing that today. So yeah, I'm gonna slightly disagree with that one. Question 2, I prefer things the same way. For instance, my morning routine or trip to the supermarket. Ooh, there's one of the faces. Okay, so for this one, I definitely agree with, because like, I don't know if this is telling or anything, but I actually have like a daily schedule of like an entire list. I plan out my entire week. I make sure that I am hitting routines. I also have like things I need to film soon. I have a whole ass fucking calendar of things I need to do. I have like my next videos I want to do. So yes. Also, the way it words this, and it says, I like doing things the same way. I'm gonna say that that's also for sex. I only do missionary every single time. I don't change positions. It is just simple, man on top, man on bottom, boom, missionary. Second video in a row I've made that joke. All right, yeah, so definitely agree with this one. I find myself becoming strongly absorbed in something, even obsessional. Okay, so this one, I will be honest with you right now, like, I think one of the cringiest things that I find in another person is when they're super obsessed with something. And like, listen, it's fine if you're sitting there being like, oh my God, no, Destery hates me. No, I don't. It's like, it's very normal to do this. It's just that it's something that I don't necessarily do. Like, you know when someone is like super obsessed with something and just will not shut the fuck up about it, and they're like, oh my God, have you heard the new DJ Hodor album? It's fucking fire. I don't care. I do not. I could give so many fucks less about that. You've got to hear it though. It's so good. I don't want, please leave me alone. Get back here. Listen to DJ Hodor. So I would say that I do get absorbed in things, but not obsessional. So I will slightly disagree with this one. Question 4, I'm very sensitive to noise and will wear earplugs to cover my ears in certain situations. No, but I do know people that are on the spectrum that are really sensitive to noise. That was one thing that was like kind of a learning curve for me with an ex-girlfriend of mine, was like, I fall asleep to watching movies. Not only that, but like sometimes when I'm watching like fucking Transformers or Lord of the Rings on like my living room TV, I will have it as loud as humanly possible. And I realized that certain people that are like on the spectrum just cannot do like super loud things. So for me, it's never really a bother. I think I've been to like far too many fucking concerts and like raves and shit to like give a fuck about volume. So definitely disagree. That looks all right. Oh yeah, we're Australian here on this fucking channel. Shout out to all my Australian viewers. I know there's a lot of you. That was terrible. I'm so sorry for disrespecting your culture. But I love Vegemite and Tim Tams. I put them together. It's so good. Shout out Australia. Okay, anyways. Question 5. Sometimes people say I'm being rude even though I think I am being polite. I will disagree with this one because I am always fucking polite. Even when I'm sassy to people, like I do it in a very polite way. I am the nicest. So fucking nice. Possibly getting even a little bit dark here, but like in relationships where I've been like yelled at and screamed at and, you know, just taking out their anger on me, I will always be the person that's like just very calm and, you know, just allows them to get out their anger or whatever the fuck. Hopefully I put some like happy music in the background during that part because like that's real sad, but I'm gonna definitely disagree with that one. Question 6. I find it easy to imagine what characters from a book might look like. What the fuck does this have to do with autism? If your imagination is like off the charts, it's like, oh, you're autistic, dude. Oh, you can imagine what a mustache looks like? Whoa, dude, autism. Oh, agree, definitely agree. I don't know. Question 8. I am more interested in finding out about things than people. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'll definitely agree with this one. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, which do I like more, things or people? Oh man, I fucking hate people, so I'll go with things. I don't know, man, like this is another kind of dark take, so bring back the happy music here. Dude, people fucking suck. Like, what is there to enjoy about people? Like, yes, certain people are fun and you want to be around them, but the majority of people? No fucking thank you, dude. I guess there's really no better example of this question in my brain than the fact that like I'm really bad at names, I'm really bad at birthdays, I'm really bad at like remembering people's favorite things. But boy, I can tell you the fucking river in Lord of the Rings that Arwen crosses. So that's important to keep in my brain, I guess. Like, which is not to say I don't care about people's birthdays and everything like that with my friends. Like, I have started to put them in calendars and write them down because I feel so bad whenever I forget someone's birthday or anything like that. So yes, I would say that I am more interested about finding about things. Question 9. I find numbers, dates, and strings of information fascinating. Oh no. Oh no. All right. So here's another story. Quick one. I, for some reason, am really fucking good with numbers. I can tell you my bank routing number, my bank account number, my fucking card number, and the security shit on the back of it. One time I stole Warcraft 3 from Walmart, the disc of Warcraft 3 from Walmart, and I remembered the CD key that was on the back of the disc so that I could, you know, go home and play it. And that's still in my brain. Like, I could recite to you the Warcraft 3 CD key for some fucking reason. And it's especially weird to me because I hate math. I failed Algebra 1, I failed Geometry 1, and I had to redo both of those classes in my junior and senior years. But I was told recently, like, even some of my favorite games or like board games and shit is really just numbers that you're crunching, but like in a fun way. Like Hearthstone, for example, is literally just like math. It's just all math, but like I enjoy it. It's weird, dude. So I'm definitely agreeing with this one. Question 12. It is difficult for me to understand other people's facial expressions and body language. Definitely disagree with that one. From like a young age, maybe I was bad at it. Like I would go into fucking like first grade wearing just long johns, and I'm like, why is this weird? Why is everyone staring at me? And then like as I've gone through life and had to deal with like a lot of bullshit and a lot of different people that I've met in those years, I have over that time kind of learned how to pick up on people's body language and stuff. Question 13. I don't have any problems making small talk with new people. It depends. Like there's certain people that like are intimidating as fuck to me. I don't know if you know what I mean by this, but like certain people are just intimidating. Like you look at them and something about them, you're like, I don't know what to say. Like I want to say something because they look so cool, but like I don't know what the fuck to say. Do I compliment them? No, because maybe they'll think I'm like hitting on them. Maybe I am, but like, you know, I don't want them to think that. So I get really in my own head in certain situations, but other times I'll just like come up into a group of people. I'm like, what's up, bitch? And that's why I have 12 restraining orders. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. Please don't think that I have restraining orders. Question 14. I noticed very small changes in a person's appearance. Actually, disagree with this one. I am the most oblivious motherfucker. Like I have gone through several relationships where like someone will like change their hair, even their color of their hair, and I just won't notice ever. Or like, you know, when like girlfriends or just anyone in like a relationship, they're like, hey, what do you think I should do with my hair? Like, what do you think? How should I look for you? Like, and I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, it might be the wrong answer for a boyfriend to give, but I'm just like, dude, I do not care. I just look how you want to look. I could give a fuck less. So, and because of that, I think I just don't notice changes in people's appearance. So we'll go slightly disagree with this one. All right, halfway through, let's go. Question 15, when I was young, I used to play a lot of Let's Pretend or imaginary games. Yeah, I'll definitely agree with this one. The only thing to do when you live in Idaho is pretend like you had friends. And I lived like on the top of a mountain in Idaho, and we had like fields of just like weeds, and I would pretend that they were like orcs and shit, and I would just like take sticks out there and like just slaughter them all. And if you're wondering now why I am good at spinning lightsabers and sticks and collect sticks wherever I go, that would be why, because for some reason I was just like, yeah man, let me get good at spinning sticks. Hell yeah, dude. So yeah, definitely agree. Oh, also, I'll show you some stuff later that I did do as a child that I think will only reaffirm how on the spectrum I was, or am, because yeah, my imagination was fucking wild when I was a child, and still kind of is, but sadly I am a joyless adult now. I think it's the Asian genes in me. You know, as you know, a lot of Asians are very unhappy. Question 17, I like meeting new people. Oh. Huh. This one's tough. I don't know. Half the people I meet, I'm like, oh God, I really wish that they're never in my life anymore. But on the other end of the spectrum, like I do find it fascinating, like when I do meet a new person and like, you know, getting to know them and stuff, that's always fun. So I guess slightly agree on that one. Question 19, I find it easy to work out what people are thinking or feeling just by looking at their facial expressions. Slightly agree. Sometimes I'm wrong. You know, like when you're reading the room and you're trying to figure out like, oh, what does this person think of me? And like, oh, are they into this conversation and shit? Sometimes I'm wrong. You know, I think it's actually one of those things where even if someone, I can clearly tell that they're not giving a fuck about me explaining the entire MCU to them. Sometimes I just will not care, and I was like, no, they're gonna sit here and they're gonna listen to why Captain America is one of the best characters. Side note, I don't know what it is, but every Captain America movie I cry at, I don't know, it's the whole Peggy Cap situation. I don't know, man. They're so cute, and it's so sad, and then it gets really happy. Fuck. Anyways, question 20. New social situations make me feel anxious. Actually, definitely agree with this one. I will tell you what, I am not a control freak, but I like to be in control. Now, there is a difference. I have talked to my friends about this. Like, a control freak is someone who's like, oh, no, we gotta go this thing. Fuck, what are you doing? Like, they're kind of like really freaking out about it. I just like to minimize the chances that something will go awry by planning out entirely what we're doing or something like that. A lot of the time, like, I either have to be like in some place that I've already known, like some place that I go to a lot, or my own house, because like this is a situation that I can control. So a lot of the time, like, I will not go out of my way to go do, like, if someone's like, hey, you should come over, I'm like, don't really know what your house is like. What if I get spooked? Like, I don't know. So yeah. Question 21, it's important to me to carefully plan any activities I'm going to do. Literally what I was just saying, so definitely agree. I guess it's not like everything though, but it's like whenever I'm planning something with someone, I will usually be like, okay, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna go do this, and then we might go do this, but maybe I should plan for if that doesn't happen and we actually go do this. Also, it goes back to me planning out my days every day. Like, yeah, I definitely agree. Question 22, I find it hard to work out what people's intentions are. Oh my God, yes. What the fuck? If people were just upfront about their fucking intentions, I would be a happy individual. Maybe this is not just a me thing, but like, holy fuck, can you count on your hands the amount of people that have come into your life and like, oh, this person wants to be my friend, or like, oh, this person has made their intention clear with what they're coming into my life for, and then they fucking change like out of nowhere, and you're like, where did that come from? And then you're like, well, maybe I'm just stupid and I can't read the room in situations like this. So maybe they were making their shit clear the whole time and I'm just fucking dumb. All right. Can't we have some meats? Question 23. I would find it really hard to play imaginary games with children. I think the issue with this one is that not that I would have a problem with like my imagination, but just that I fucking hate children. I know, gasp.mp3. But is for real, like, I don't know what it is with me, but like every time I'm around a kid or like a little baby or something, all they do is fucking stare at me and I'm just like, what do you want? And it's like, You want a carrot? What do you want from me? What do you want? So I'm like a little bit iffy with this one because, like, let's say I had a child of my own besides a couple hundred that are out there probably that I don't know about. But let's say like I have a child that I actually care about, unlike Steven, who I don't pay child support for anymore. Then maybe I think I'd be a really great dad. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't get along with children. So I think we'll go just slightly disagree. Question 25. I am often the last person to understand a joke. Frankly, I have no idea what a joke is. I've never seen one in my life. I'm not funny, okay? That one's not a joke. I know that you're like, this is all sarcasm and shit, but that one's not. I really don't think I'm that funny. The best thing I have going for me is that I'm fucking hideous. And I know a lot of people are like the supportive mom right now, probably leaving something in the comments, being like, oh, you're not hideous, honey. Oh my God, you look so good in that jean jacket. Whoa, my God. No, but it's okay, okay? You know I look like Hoggle from the Labyrinth, all right? You don't need to remind me. But I find that hilarious about myself. That's the one thing I have going for me, okay? And speaking of which, obligatory merch promo. Wow, look at all those incredibly ugly faces that I'm making. This can be yours. Not your style? Well, then perhaps check out this dinosaur shirt that was part of my, I don't even know, 9.5 shoes that I recently made into a shirt. But those are fucking ugly. All right, well, chill out then, buckaroo. Here's another one. If you hated that, then you might like this one, which is a zombie, Destery killing a bunch of zombies shirt you can get. Whoa, maybe you liked my really mediocre music video, The Legend of the Spooky Man. Whoa, you could get your own Spooky Man merch, which actually is pretty fucking sick. I'm not gonna lie, this is my favorite thing I've designed. Or a split black and white Captain Destes hair shirt, which is also pretty dang fire. It looks like I'm in part of an esports group or something, but it's just for emo twinks. And actually, I'm missing the best piece of merch that I wear pretty much almost every other day, which I'm just gonna put a picture of right here, but that's my favorite piece of merch that I've actually designed, and it's so comfortable, so soft. So if you want to go get your own merch, make sure to check out desmerch.com. And while you're there, make sure to use code TAINT for 10% off. That's real, by the way. You put it in, you'll see that it is actually 10% off. Whatever you buy, 10%, bitch. Do it. Desmerch.com. Anyways, back to the quiz. Question 26. I like doing things spontaneously. So occasionally I'll do something spontaneous. I can't think of any examples right now because I've sat here for 5 minutes trying to think of something that I've done spontaneously and I can't think of anything. But it's occasional. It's like sometimes I'll be like, wow, I'm feeling adventurous today, man. Like, I just want to go and fucking do something. Sometimes, man, sometimes I'll slip out of my comfort zone, and usually it's for the good. Great movie for autistic people, I'm assuming here, is Yes Man, which changed my life, honestly. Like, I wish I was joking about that, but like, the movie Yes Man, starring Jim Carrey, is all about saying yes to things in life. And I remember the first time I watched it, it was so transformative for me that I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna like actually go out in life and say yes to things, because the whole mentality of that movie is like, if you say no to life, you're not living, which makes a lot of sense. And I ran with that and I was like, oh yeah, so if you say yes, you're living your life fullest to the possible it can be. Now obviously I realize that like that movie is flawed. There's ways, like if you are like, if someone comes up to you and says, hey man, you want to fucking try some crack? By the rules of Yes Man, you'd be like, oh yeah bro, load that shit in my vein. But no, I did not do crack more than once. But hey man, if you haven't seen Yes Man, go and watch it, but I'll put slightly agree on this one. All right, question 29. I have some very strong interests and get upset if I can't pursue them. That's pretty accurate. I would say that is the most accurate encapsulation of my entire like year of life, is like, I have been constantly upset recently because I can't pursue my interests, to the point where I'm like, you know what if I'm just a bum on the street, but I'm still making music and I'm still making videos? That sounds pretty sick to me, because like, what are we if not creatures that want to pursue our passions and our interests in this life? And if we don't have those, what the fuck are we? Like slaves, mindless drones? I hate it. I hate thinking about it. Anytime I feel like my job is too jobby, I'm like, fuck this, dude. Like, I just want to go and like live in the woods and become a fucking hobo and look like goddamn Gandalf at the age of 40, but with emo hair, probably, let's be honest. So I do have some very strong interests, and I do get upset if I can't pursue them. And finally, the last question, question 30, I can tell if someone I'm talking to is getting bored. I will slightly agree with this one, and this kind of circles back to, you know, the reading the room thing. It's just that sometimes I don't care, and then sometimes people are really good at covering that shit up. Okay, based on your answers, you're experiencing very few signs of autism and probably not autistic. Wow, okay, so it has me as like this number 10 here, and that puts me in the range of few tendencies, and then there is also the borderline indication and strong likelihood. Well, that's very interesting. I do know that I have to have something, whether it be autism or not. Maybe that's something we find out in future episodes of whatever the fuck this is. It's diving deep into Destery's mental health. Well, there we go. If you guys would like to take this test for yourself and find out where you guys land on the spectrum and everything like that, I will leave the link to this test in the description down below. But as an ending part of this video, I did want to still show off some of the things that I showed friends of mine recently, and they were like, dog, you are definitely autistic. But kind of going back to my childhood, I'm gonna show you a couple of things that I have from then. And this was my first drawing that I made for my mom. I don't know when this was. Let's see if there's a date on it. Nope. I don't have words, to be honest. I don't know what the hell is happening here. I think this is supposed to be me. What would be more accurate with this photo is if you moved the face down a little bit and then kept the forehead as large as it is. Now, flash forward to when I'm about 8 years old. I didn't have any friends when I was a child. I spent a lot of the time alone on a mountain property with my fucking stepdad that I hated. So because of that, I made my own game, which I can't show you all of these up close and personal, but there's about 30 or more pages. And basically what this was like Dungeons and Dragons, but I didn't know that Dungeons and Dragons existed, so I made my own. Oh, actually what's funny is that I have an old I don't even know script on the back of one of these pages. Let's see if you guys can guess which video this is. Like movie trailers, they're all the same. For action movies, I told my niece I would avenge my father's death. Well, you shall bow before my knees as your father once did. Revenge. You have 3 seconds to answer before I put the actual answer. And 3, 2, 1. It's I don't even know 10. Congratulations if you guessed it right.
I love you, guys.
No, shut up. Shut up. I love you.
Please.
Shut the fuck up. Romance, yeah.
But back to this. I look like fucking Charlie when he's explaining the shit on the wall. So I made my own game when I was like 8 years old, and it started off as this, which is probably a bunch of gibberish from what you can see, but it was a maze game where you started at the bottom here and you worked your way up through all of this. But each one of these stops or things that were happening on this map linked to a different page. So that's what all of these things were. So for example, you know, if you like walked up to a sign, it would be like, all right, this sign is on page 2. And then you go into page 2 and it's like, all right, so remember that guy who was crying because of his dog? That's literal words from what's happening here. And then later on, there were like battles and like there were boss pages that I made. I don't know if you can see this shit. I had a preface for one of the worlds. We had concept art. And then after that first world, and when I was like finally like a master at doing that first one, I made a second world. And this one's hilarious. I think I have to show you this, is that I made it so it's like, okay, it's still a maze. You start at the bottom here, but when you get to this little portal thing, it actually becomes open world. So homie, when I was fucking 9 years old, I made open world games. And each one of these things was basically like a different shop that you could go into or like a different quest. And at the very top, there was a boss battle. And so all of this previous open worldness was like to prepare you. Now, I think when I was around 12 or so, I redid that second level drawing because it looked like ass. So that's what that is the redo of that second level. And so listen, you're probably watching this right now being like, I don't care about anything that you're talking about right now. But I think all of this is very indicative of the fact that I definitely have something. I definitely have something, man. And actually, I think when I was like 15 or 16, I made concept art for like the main character of what I imagined him looking like, which looks like this. And yes, you would be correct in thinking that definitely looks like an anime character. And really, it's only gotten worse. I mean, for fuck's sake, now that I'm an adult man right now. In 2017, I started working on my very own board game, which I've talked about at great length before. Right now, it's still in a kind of a stalemate position where I'm not really like working on it as much, but you know, we have concept art for that as well, which I have commissioned, and I kid you not about this, more than $3,000 commissioning all of this artwork for that has gone nowhere. And you know, I would say that that's a crying shame. It's a bummer that I wasn't able to get my board game done and all of that. It might still happen one day. But one thing that did come out of all of this art being created is I saw this was the first piece of art I got done for that board game. And I was like, holy shit. A, she's incredibly hot. But also B, I want to know what her story is. Like, what is she? Like, is she a fucking general of the Wood Elf clan? Or like, what's going on? So then I made board game lore, which is several pages. Just several pages of board game lore, which if I ever do release this as like a board game and like all of its glory, I'll probably release the book version of it as well to understand all the characters and shit. But my God, like who does this? When I was explaining all of this and looking like Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the person I was explaining it to was like, dog, you've got autism. Like you need to take a test right now. So I'm glad I was able to do that, although it did tell me that I don't have autism. But what does a fucking BuzzFeed quiz even know? You know what I mean? Well, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed all of this nonsense. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like. Also subscribe to the channel to be told when I make new videos, which on that note, I am going to be trying to upload a lot more soon. I actually have 7 videos that are backlogged that I never have released because I just haven't had the time to actually edit them and put them up. But I am hopeful that those will get done very, very soon. So yes, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to check out my Discord server at discord.gg/CaptainDestas. Also, you can find all of my links in the description down below, including some spicy ones. Oh my God. That's right. I gate my butt for 1,200 tokens on chatterbait.com. I don't. I'm sorry. But yes, all of my links will be in the description down below. And that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you next time, and fair winds.